feel that now. And what's that like now? You're not doing that, are you?
No.
There you go. Almost as if there's a beautiful healing balloon.
Yes.
But notice what happens.
I hope you enjoyed that little clip. That was a bit of hypnotic phenomenon with that lady, and you're going to see the full set from the induction right through to the end. In fact, you're going to see the lead-in on camera, which you don't always see, so it's a nice opportunity to see this. This lady was the person I hypnotized right after last week's subject, the young gentleman. So we're going to talk about age and what's the best age for selecting your subjects. Should you hypnotize young people or old people, or does it matter? Stay tuned inside and find out. Hi there, my name is Turan. I'm a hypnotist and clinical hypnotherapist, and I show you some street hypnosis every week and then discuss it and give you some insights into hypnosis. So often, and I've said this before in various other videos, people say to me, you're always hypnotizing slim, pretty young girls on your hypnosis channel. But if you look closely, as in last week's video, for instance, I was hypnotizing a guy. Now, that guy, I was also a young guy, maybe 18, 20, 21, that sort of age group. So people always ask me again, you know, why do you hypnotize young girls? And I don't just hypnotize young girls. A couple of weeks ago, it wasn't on camera, but I was playing the audio part before the camera started rolling, and you hear me approaching some gentlemen, and they didn't want to be hypnotized. And I said, what about you guys, talking to young girls? And they said, yes, I'll be happy to do it. So it's not that I don't ask people, but the majority are younger people. And this is a nice video today because it shows you that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age. I'm going to expand on that on the far side of this clip you're going to see today. And I'm breaking down what I do with this lady and why I do it. You'll see right from the beginning, you'll see me saying goodbye to the previous chap from last week's video and then selecting that lady. You'll see the full process, and again I'm going to break down some of the steps involved in my selection process. So let's watch the video first. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget, click the big subscribe button and that bell notification button next to the subscribe button. It really helps me understand how many people really like this channel and want to see more, so I can create and craft videos just for you. And in respect to that, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have a comment, some feedback about this video, or an inquiry, a thought, an idea about hypnosis in any way, leave it in the comment section below, because I could make a video just around your questions. So I really love reading your questions. So stay tuned after this street hypnosis clip so you can find out more about what I did, why I did it, and how I did it. Who wants to be next? Who wants to be next? What about you, young lady? Would you like to be hypnotised? There you go. Set your bag down. Set your bag down. You happy enough that I video you?
Yes.
Good stuff. And your name is?
Maddie.
Maddie, how do you do, Maddie? Look at your hands. Look at the lines in your hand. Pick one spot and one line. You don't need to point or say a thing. Just look at that spot now. That's right. Notice as I move that hand towards your forehead, how that hand starts to move all by itself towards your forehead now, without any conscious thought on your part. Just allow that hand to continue to float towards your forehead now. And that hand touches your forehead. Your eyes can close. Your legs will support you. Your back will support you. That's right. And sleep now. Way down. Deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. The deeper you go, the more relaxed you feel, the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you go. Drifting, sinking down to even deeper still. Legs and back and supporting you all the time as you go down to even deeper inside now. Feel that wonderful feeling inside now. That wonderful feeling of confidence, of energy, of happiness that you have inside now, just to be the best person that you can be. So in a moment I'm going to count from 10 down to 1. With every count I count, just allow your unconscious now to take you down even deeper, and even more wonderful inside now, to a wonderful place of change, a wonderful place of feeling even better now. So 10, doubling that relaxation. 9, even deeper. 8, so deep, so relaxed. 7, 6, 5. The time I get to number 1, your unconscious will take you to a powerful place of change now. And 3, way down. 2, so deep, so relaxed. And 1. In a minute I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and the count to 3 you can open your eyes and back with us. But every time I say the word sleep or sleep or sleep, your eyes will close, your head will drop down to your chest, and you'll double this feeling of relaxation you have right now. Nod your head that you understand. So 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. What was that like?
Okay.
Wasn't it good?
Yes.
Sleep now, way down, deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. The deeper you go, the more relaxed you feel now. In a minute I'm going to count from 1 to 3. On the count of 3 you're going to open your eyes and you're going to feel full of life, full of energy. And it's going to feel like you've got a beautiful healing balloon tied around that wrist of that right hand. Beautiful ribbon, a beautiful healing balloon tied at the end of that ribbon. That balloon's going to start pulling up now. That's right. You feel that now getting stronger and stronger as that healing balloon gets pulled up tighter and tighter, higher and higher inside your mind now. So 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. Feeling good?
Yes.
And notice what's happening to that right hand now. That's right. There you go. Without any conscious thought in your part, feel that pulling up. You know, have you any trouble in your shoulder or anything like that there at all?
Yes.
No, you have. It's weird. But feel that now. And what's that like now? You're not doing that, are you?
No.
There you go. Almost as if there's a beautiful healing balloon.
Yes.
But notice what happens is I take these scissors and I cut that ribbon. You'll just go back into trance and your arm will drop down. Click. Way down. Deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. In a minute I'm going to count from 1 to 5. On the count of 5 all hypnotic suggestions will just disappear from your mind. You'll no longer feel like you have a healing balloon. But your unconscious now is going to look inside you. It's going to find something deep inside you that you really want to change, really want to improve. Maybe there's a bit of pain in your life that you just want to eradicate. Now it's not going to take anything away that you need, that means sense to you, that warns you of danger or a problem in your life. But if you've got any chronic pain, anything that you have at the moment that just won't go away, your unconscious will find a way of helping you in a positive way, in a constructive way that won't hinder the effects of anything, any medication that you're on or anything that you need to do. So 1, feeling that feeling of hypnosis just disappear from the tips of your toes. 2, washing out through your legs, through your stomach, through your pelvis. 3, take a deep breath in. Feel that energy washing all the way through, like a fresh mountain breeze blowing through your head. 4, full of life, full of energy, like a 12-hour sleep, like a 6-hour massage. And 5, stretch, wide awake.
Yes. That was good.
Is that good?
Yes.
There you go. Didn't do too much fun or silly stuff for yourself, because I knew you wouldn't be into it. Nah, you're never too old, you're never too old. But I just want you to give that experience and feel good, and hopefully you feel better for that.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks for staying tuned. Hope you liked that video. So let's break down exactly what was happening, shot by shot, as it were. First of all, as I say, people often ask how much is done off camera, how much is done before you see the actual videos on YouTube. So as you can see there, I've just finished off that video today. Just finishes off just where you saw last week's video, gentleman being finished with, and you see him sort of walking away. In fact, for most of the time, sorry about the quality of that, it was a tripod. I didn't have a camera person with me, so at times people didn't realise maybe they were cutting across in front of the video camera. I think you can see me several times looking over the camera to make sure it was okay. So I say thanks, goodbye to that gentleman, and then I turned and say, what about you? I'd seen this lady looking over with interest while I was working with the previous gentleman. So I wanted to give her an opportunity to experience hypnosis, and she was, you know, gesturing to indicate she was interested in it. And what was very nice was there were several volunteers, as you can just about see on the camera. They were stepping forward, do me next, and they graciously, when they saw me gesturing to that lady, let her go first. So no pre-talk, no discussion at all. How come it works so well if there's no pre-talk? Once again, and I've said this in the past in the last couple of videos, about the importance that many trainers put on pre-talk. I say pre-talk is the most important part. You've got to dispel fears, you've got to set people up. Now, the reason I don't need any pre-talk is because that lady has just watched the previous gentleman. And if you've seen all his videos, there's 2 or 3 videos with him in it. It was an extended set of maybe 10-15 minutes, and he was a great subject. She knew what she had to do. She knew what she was going to experience. She knew she had the confidence in me to do something because she'd seen it before. So that in itself per se is a pre-talk. And this is why I say to people, the first person, and I hate to even say the word hard, but the first person over the hardest to hypnotise, because they haven't seen you before, they don't know if you can do it, whereas anybody else that's queuing up behind them has witnessed my skills, my expertise in hypnosis, so they know what's going to happen, and they almost know how to respond, how to behave per se in that hypnotic state. So that in itself is a pre-talk. That is a training wheels for other people as to what should happen and the confidence to know it will happen. So that's why I can get away with no pre-talk at all. I say, what about you? And she comes forward, would you like to be hypnotized? Yes. And I go straight into, hi, what's your name? Look at your hand. Bang. And into the induction. and she's a great subject. She goes into hypnosis very well, and I can sense that by that catalepsy. Catalepsy is that lack of movement in the muscle groups. In this case, her hand just sits perfectly on her forehead as she goes down deeper into trance, as I go down through that deepener. I move on and fractionate her. That's the process of waking her up and then dropping her back into that hypnosis state. And it's really to test that when I give the suggestion, every time I say the word sleep, your eyes will close, your head will drop down to your chest, and you'll go back into hypnosis. I want to test that that is working. And also seeing her responsiveness and measuring her difference and change. So when she opens her eyes and goes, wow, that was good, and I go sleep, she drops beautifully back into hypnosis. So I know that's going to work. Now, again, for someone of this age, we need to be a bit more careful about any back or neck or arm or whatever muscle injuries. But as she was walking up, she was carrying her handbag, which was quite a large handbag. When I did the hand to face, she didn't wince or give any expression of concern. So I'm happy to do a little arm levitation, and that's what I move on to after I do that deepener. So I give her the suggestion that her hand is going to feel light. Now, I ask her to open her eyes as her hand starts to move up all by itself as an unconscious movement. And I just run a little quick health and safety by her, and I say, you know, any problems with your back? And she does express that she has some problems. So I'm not going to let that arm rise too high after that. I want to make sure that she's well looked after. So after the arm has moved a few inches, I say I'm going to cut that thread, and the arm's going to drop down by your side, and you're going to go back into hypnosis. Now, that's the only real skit that I did. I then counter out from 1 through to 5. You're going to come out of hypnosis, but as you come out of hypnosis, you're going to find something that your unconscious can help you change and improve about your life and make that happen. And because she's mentioned pain, I make a suggestion that might not be the thing that she changes, but I make the suggestion that it might be some level of chronic pain or pain that you have. Now, it's not going to go down too low. What we never want to do really is eliminate 100% of the pain, because pain is a suggestion that something's not right. And we want to know when something's not right. Ultimately, pain is the way a doctor measures where the issue is. There's no use you walking in and saying, I've got pain in my foot, when really your knee is sore. So you've got to say, well, the knee is where the pain is, so that's where you need to look. So pain has a purpose in life, but sometimes if it gets chronic, it gets too bad, then it can get in the way of a comfortable lifestyle. So all we want to do is just turn that down a bit, but it might not be. I mean, I mentioned various other things throughout the hypnosis session. I was talking about confidence, I was talking about feeling good. I'm layering in lots of suggestions all the way through that process. Hopefully you saw that. So that gives her scope to just really feel a lot better about herself. And you can see that in the way she wakes up. She looks a bit more alive. So I said up front I was going to talk about age. So is she easier to hypnotise than the previous gentleman? The previous gentleman was what, 18, 19, maybe 20, 21? Whereas this lady was a bit older than that. A good gentleman never mentions a lady's age, so I'm not going to guess what age she was, but she admitted herself she was a bit older for doing the funny stuff. Again, the age will drive to a certain extent what I do, but in terms of the hypnosis, there's no difference. There's no difference whether you're hypnotising a teen or even a young child in a therapeutic setting. I don't really do entertainment stuff with young children, but whether you're hypnotising a young child, a teen, someone in their 20s, 30s or 40s, or someone a bit older, it doesn't matter. Hypnosis is something that's within us. And all the hypnotist is doing is facilitating and triggering and piggybacking on that natural process to tap into a more powerful way of thinking. So it doesn't matter what age. And as you saw, and hopefully you'll agree from this lady today, she went into hypnosis beautifully, just as the younger folks you generally see me on this channel hypnotising go into hypnosis. I will tend to pick younger people just because you can have a bit more bounce around fun. You saw, like I say, that gentleman from last week really laughing and moving around, and it was quite hilarious. But I'm not going to do a excessively silly skit like that there with a lady of this age, just because, again, I have to be careful of any health issues that she may have. But The key thing is, I'm not going to exclude her from the experience of hypnosis. I had lots of people to choose from. There was 2 or 3 other young folks standing in line next to that fella and from last week, and I could have picked any one of those, but I wanted to give her an experience. I wanted to be fair and unbiased to age or gender to make sure that everyone gets an experience of hypnosis, because a lot of times when you're doing this fun street hypnosis, as again I announce myself at the beginning of every video, I'm a hypnotist and clinical hypnotherapist. My main job and role on a Monday to Friday, day-to-day basis is working with people to help them improve their life with things like anxiety, depressions, fears and phobias. So that's the bulk of my work. But this entertainment stuff gives people an opportunity to experience hypnosis. And as a result of that, they may book in for something to gain improvement in their life. So never be afraid of going for someone a bit older, but just judge how much bouncing around and fun stuff and silly stuff you do with someone of an older age. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you like this video. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget, click that big subscribe button and the bell notification button next to the subscribe button. And if there's anything I missed from that video, anything you saw in there that you would like a bit more detail and a bit more description on, please drop a comment in the comment section below. If I can't answer it in the comments, I might just make a video just for you around your comments. So I really appreciate your comments. So that's all for this week. I'll put the link to last week's video here so you can check it out. I've done a lot of talking about that video, so you might check it out if you haven't already seen it. He was a lovely star as well, and this picture will turn into a link shortly as the end screens come up. Have a good week and see you next week.